Hey there, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tracy. In today's video, I will be using some products from our super sponsor, Not Too Shabby Shop, for Kendra's Card Challenge 16. Let's go ahead and get started. As mentioned before, our super sponsor today is Not Too Shabby Shop. And you could win one of these $1,000 worth of prizes if you enter into Kendra's Card Challenge, making 15 cards with 6 sheets of 6x6 pattern paper. And everything you need to know is listed down below. Today we're working with sketch number 8 and a super easy card. So here we go. I have here a stamp set and paper and some enamel dots from Not Too Shabby Shop. The paper is called Irresistible Delights, and it's got lots of like lemon cupcakes and pancakes, but it's got all these beautiful yellows. And I'm a fan. I'm a big fan of yellow and Not Too Shabby Shop papers. So I'm going to be using this striped paper, which is probably my all-time favorite. I'd probably have 100 sheets of that if I could. I just love the warmth of that yellow. And then I'm using this stamp set called Chicken Sentiments. And this is the funniest thing. I love anything chicken, and you guys know that. If you know me, you know that. So what I've done here is I've stamped out a row of these plain chickens in black ink on some white paper. And there are just basically 3 sets of them, and I've cut them down to fit 3 3/4. And it's a little bit bigger than what the sketch calls for. For sketch 8, calls for 1/2 inch. It's about 3/4 of an inch. Sometimes we need a little leeway. I need room for my chickens. So what I've done here is I've just cut a base piece of 5 by 3 3/4, so I can make everything fit nice and neatly on there. And I'm going to glue the top and bottom portions directly down to this piece of paper along with the piece of string. So just using some liquid glue because I trust it. I'm still on the fence about dry glues, like the tape runners and stuff. I like my cards to stick together forever. And just trying to decide, since it's a square piece, which way I want the stripes to go. And I'm going to have the stripes going up and down. So we'll get that good and stuck down. Like I said, friends, this is a super easy card. And this Kendra's Card Challenge 16 is so cool. There's so many neat little extras in here with regard to like little ribbons and bows and other additions. So as I'm getting this kind of glued together, I wanted to mention that this is a hop, and I hope that you're able to hop along. There is a prize. All you need to do is fill out the prize claim form, or the prize form listed in the description box on each hop, and have a chance to win a digital prize from Kendra. So what I'm doing here is I'm tying a bow right directly onto my long piece of string. So I'm not going to have any tails on my bow today. You can do that if you want. Let me tell you, friends, I am not the best bow tire. So I'm just adding a line of glue here down onto my paper. And then I'm just going to stick down my bow. Make sure I have it all adjusted so it hangs correctly, best I can. And then I'm just going to press on it for a second. And I need to get that up and under. There we go. Now press back down on it. Luckily my glue's still wet. And then once I feel like that's fairly secure, I'm going to flip it over, and I'm just going to add some mint tape to kind of hold those strings down while I add a backer here. And what I'm going to add is just some foam tape. So I'll trim off that excess. And yes, friends, I waste a lot of string. I'm sorry. I wish I was better. I'd like to be better. But I'll go ahead and glue this down. I'm going to add a very low profile foam tape first, just to, raise it up to the level, basically, of my string, because that's kind of a thicker string there. And I'll cut off any excess foam tape because I ripped it instead of cutting it. And then peel off the backers, obviously. And sometimes that's a struggle for me. It depends on if I let my nails grow out. I'm going to pull those little pieces out and just add little dots of glue onto those, or at least that's my intention. I did this a few days ago, so I don't remember if I actually did it or not. Yeah, I did. Okay. So I'm adding glue so that I can move my foam tape around to make sure that I'm adjusted well onto my 4 1/4, my 4 by 5 1/4 inch matte layer. And then we'll just get this laid down nice and straight. And like I said, this is a super easy card. Like, it couldn't be easier, and especially with the papers and stamps that I was sent by Not Too Shabby. And by the way, they, as a super sponsor, they sent me these products at no cost to me. So, and I will have a Not Too Shabby shop link down below. It is an affiliate link, but it's no extra cost to you if you use that link. And I'll list the products that I used. So I do want to stamp the inside too, and I'm going to do, because they call me the chicken whisperer, it's because I'm fluent in foul language. And it's not far from the truth. I'm telling you that right now. So I'm just going to lay my stamp down here nice and straight, or as straight as I can possibly get it for me. Luckily, these don't have to be perfectly straight, but you know, fairly straight is good. And then I'm just kind of rubbing on that stamp a little bit with my hands to kind of condition it. And I'll stamp it down a couple of times to make sure I get a nice, good, dark black impression. Let's go one more time. All right, that's good. And I am using my VersaFine Clair and Nocturne. So it's going to be a little bit wet, so I'm going to leave it open while I work on the next step. And by the time I get done with the next step, it should be dry. So I'm going to grab one of my scraps, because I didn't cut the whole. Now with Kendra's Card Challenge, you can take 6 by 6 pieces of paper and cut them down to all the sizes that you need. But I'm kind of an individual maker, so I like to do them one at a time. And I'm cutting 3/4 of an inch there from this strip. And I'll go ahead and glue that right down to the bottom of the inside of the card, just to add a little touch. And in hindsight, I probably could have colored that little heart in yellow. I didn't think about it. I'm just now thinking about that, thinking that'll look cool. And so I might do that afterwards, later, sometime, maybe. I'm a craft procrastinator. All right, I've got the inside. I'm just going to leave that little extra edge hanging out because it's got some wet glue on it, and I'll trim it off later in just a few minutes. I'll go ahead and glue all of my layers down to the card base, which is a top folding A2 card base, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I just chose a white card base for this because this is black, white, and yellow all over. Just make sure that's on there nice and straight. And then off camera, I went ahead and stamped out the sentiment. I want to get my chickens on here. So I'm going to pop those up on a little bit of foam tape, which is the main reason why I did the first 2 pieces on the matte layer directly, so that I could fit that on neatly, because it is a little bit wider than what the sketch calls for. I didn't want to cut my chickens' heads off. Nobody wants to run around like a chicken with their head cut off. We could do chicken jokes for days, friends. Let's add a little liquid glue, so I've got a little wiggle room. And that's a little bit of a higher loft foam tape. So I'm going to get it so that I'm sure that my little string is showing all the way across the top as shown in the sketch. And then I'll just mess with my bow a little bit. And then I'm going to grab the sentiment that I've already stamped out, which is, they call me the chicken whisperer. And then I've cut out a piece of black kind of fancy paper for the matte layer for that. So I'll glue that onto there. And listen, friends, I just grabbed the first black scrap that I could find, because it's just a 2 inch or a 2 1/4 inch scrap. And then I'll go ahead and pop up the top portion, but the bottom portion not. That way it sits evenly onto the little chicken layer. And all we have left to do is add embellishments, and this card is done, friends. And I barely sped anything up. I did edit some parts out because there are parts where I'm looking for things that I don't want to waste your time looking for stuff. I should have had it. So I'm going to use this sort of dark yellow color, and I couldn't tell you which pack these are from because I take them out of the packs for space reasons. But here it is. I hope you like it. I hope you like this card. And here's the inside. I can't wait to send that to a friend. So much fun. And again, we use the Irresistible Delights 6x6 paper pad. And we use the Chicken Sentiments stamps. Aren't they fun? I just love them. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment down below. And don't forget to do that prize claim form. Thanks so much for stopping by. Take care. Bye-bye.